Williams is a small liberal arts college in Western Massachusetts. The campus is about 2,000 undergraduate students, and we have about 550 freshmen coming in every year. Being that the campus is very small, you really don't need, a shuttle to get from one place to another. You don't need a bike, although a couple students have bikes. I get from class to class without really rushing. Everything's pretty tight. You don't get lost because it's a very small campus, and within a week of being at Williams, you're gonna know pretty much where everything is at. So of course we have a gym, but it's not state of the art. We have 3 dining halls. That gives students a chance, to have a variety of places to go eat. We have 2 libraries, Sawyer and Scow. They're currently building a 3rd library, and they're going to tear down Sawyer, which is kind of like the older library. If you want to wash your clothes, I think every dorm has washing machines and drying machines, so you have that provided. You have to do your own clothes though, unlike other campuses. Every freshman has to live on campus. Our seniors have the option to live off campus, and living off campus is really just as well as living on campus because it's very close. As a freshman, you live in entries, so that's a group of about 20 students. You live together, and you have 2 juniors who kind of like look after you. So from the first time that you come in onto campus, you have people you can always look up to because they try to make sure that all freshmen are really assimilated very quick. 3 words that describe the experience of Williams. Tough, interesting, and intriguing. I don't know if any of those mean the same thing, but it's tough because really the classes and the professors are going to push you to the limit. It's interesting because, Williams tries its best to bring in people from all over the place, all over the world, all over the country. So you have a campus with different ideas, people come from different places, and the challenge is to learn from those people. And the 3rd one was intriguing. Intriguing because, every day that I've been at Williams, I've really had an interesting conversation with someone else. I've learned a lot of things out of class. I've learned, there's things you do to certain people and you don't to other people because they come from different backgrounds. So, that has been kind of like the over experience outside of class. We have a couple of very strong departments, and one that comes on my mind right off the bat is our economics department. We have a lot of students who are going that path, and our economics department is known for its really intensity and how many students every year who graduate from that program, find top jobs on Wall Street and in the government. Our statistics and mathematics department is also amazing. We have, I think, the top statistician in America who teaches at Williams. Most of the books they use in the class are actually written by the professor, so that's also great. Our languages are also intense and amazing. I'm taking Chinese right now, and something very interesting is that from the very first day you go into a language class, the teacher carries out the whole lesson in that language. So I went in Chinese the very first day. I was expecting kind of like high school type of teaching where they speak in English and speaking Chinese, but the teacher came in speaking Chinese the whole class period, and it was confusing at first. But having been there for 3 months, I can speak some Chinese now. I'm not completely clueless, so our languages are very intense. My first semester, I took Chinese 101, Contemporary Moral Issues, which is a philosophy class. I took Calculus 103, which I ended up dropping, and I also took the Father Abraham, which is a religion class. And something unique about Williams really is the tutorial system. So a tutorial is basically a class of two people, you and the other person and the professor, and you meet once every week on a date that you and your friend, choose, and you meet for an hour. So the professor assigns some readings that you have to do throughout the week, and then one person in the group has to write a 7-page essay, on the reading, and then they have to read their paper out loud when you meet. And then the other person has to write a 2-page response, which they also have to read out loud, in response to your paper. So I feel like that's something very unique. Only two people in a class, you cannot skip that class. You cannot miss out because, you get all the attention that you want. I enjoyed my Chinese class. Although I didn't get, I really liked how from the first day we just read at it, and after 3 months, if I was stuck in China, I would not be lost. I didn't like my math class, and that's just me because I'm not really a math person. And the good thing about Williams is that there's no class that you're required to take. Classes are grouped up in divisions, so you have Division 1, which is languages. You have Division 2, which is social sciences and humanities, and then you have Division 3, which is mainly science and math classes. So if you don't want to take English, that's fine. You can take Spanish or Chinese or Italian. So I think that's something unique about Williams. There's no class requirements. There's only division requirements. This semester I took calculus, which I ended up dropping, Chinese 101, contemporary moral issues, which is a philosophy class, and the Father Abraham, which is a religion class. And at Williams we have something which is called a tutorial, and that's the only college in the whole country that does this tutorial. So a tutorial is basically a class of two people, you, another person, and the professor. And you meet once every week, and every time you meet, one person in the group has to write a 7-page essay. So this time it's going to be you, next time it's going to be your partner. And the time that you don't write your 7-page essay, you have to write a 2-page response to the other person's essay. So I really, really love this class because it gives you flexibility. You pretty much direct where you want the class to go. Honestly, I don't think anyone can ever be prepared for the transition. Coming in, I think we're all a little bit naive of how much we're going to be given. I cannot say the transition is hard for everyone. No, is it easy? But for me, it was a little bit challenging. I knew I was always bad at math. I didn't do too well in calculus in high school. But I came into college with the mentality that I want to challenge myself. But I quickly found out that there's a difference between challenging yourself and digging yourself into a big hole. So after taking math for a couple of weeks, I decided to drop that class. That's not something that's for me. So the transition is pretty challenging for a lot of people, but Williams has a lot of resources to help you out. For example, you can get a tutor in any subject that you're finding problems with, and the college pays for that. They also have the Math and Science Resource Center where students can get help with their homework, and it runs from Sunday to Thursday from 8 to midnight. So that's another great, another resource you can use. We also have a lot of TAs. So the teachers always teach the class, but they also hire TAs who are there to kind of help students out if they need any help. And our professors are amazing at helping you out. So I see my professors almost every day to ask a question, and they'll take that time to really help you out. Some of them go out of their way to really meet you on weekends just to get that help. So it's challenging. Nevertheless, there's resources to help you through the whole transition. Most of you, I was thinking about going to the Ivy Leagues. So the summer before my senior year, I went to visit Harvard and a couple of other Ivy League schools and high-ranked institutions. And Williams was really never on my list. And then one day I got a random email, and they were talking about this visitation program they had, and I could apply for it and visit up there for free. So I applied for it, I got accepted, and I went to visit Williams. And really the main difference for me when I went to Harvard and going to Williams is really the environment. First of all, I'm not a big city person. There's a lot of people walking around in Harvard Square all the time, a lot of traffic. And I don't like that. I like being in the country, kind of isolated, very quiet. And that's so unlike Cambridge and most Ivy League schools. Something else that really kind of attracted my attention to Williams is the size. You have 2,000 students. Some of my classes are, 10 people. 12 people, so very small class size as compared to a lot of Ivy League schools. And for a student that I am, I don't like being a number in a class. Number 251. I like, the teacher knowing me. I like having that relationship between myself and the professor. And I think in college that's very important. And that's why I chose Williams. Something else really that kind of attracted me to Williams is that the classes are always taught by professors. While in other colleges the TAs teach your class, and other professors taking care of some other business. A lot of people don't know about Williams. Even in the United States, I go places where people have never heard about Williams. And I know that most of you guys are looking at the Ivy League because the top colleges in the country, in the world. But Williams was actually ranked the #1 college in America by Forbes magazine for the past 2 years. And I know that Ivy League is big on reputation because they're such an amazing brand. But an undergraduate education at Williams is almost as good as an undergraduate education at an Ivy League school. That's why Williams was ranked #1. And I think the main difference is that the professors take a candid interest in your success. There's never a time where I've asked for help from a professor and they've not been able to help me out. And Williams was founded, I think it's the third oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, and it has the oldest alumni, of any college in the United States. So that whatever you want to do, you're going to find someone who's already doing it. You're going to find someone who's already in the field that you're looking at. So that's another plus for Williams. Williams is very generous in terms of financial aid. So I knew that once I graduate from Williams, I'm not going to have any debt. I wasn't so sure about that at other colleges. I was also attracted to Williams because, like I mentioned earlier, the class size and the relationship that I have with professors. I just don't want to be another number, and I want to be able to, interact with my professors and learn from them instead of a TA, which is a teaching assistant. So I ended up applying to Williams only. I took kind of that risky thing. I was in with everything or not. I put all my energy into this one application. So I applied early decision, and I got in by December 15th. So I had half a semester in high school where I knew where I was going, and I wasn't really stressed like most people are. So, I'm not advising you guys to apply to only one college because you never know. But I wouldn't advise you guys to apply to 10 either. It's better to put all your energy and time in a select few of applications because you're definitely going to get into one place. You may not get into all 5 or all 10, but maybe 1 or 2. And if you're applying somewhere, you should be pretty confident that if you get accepted anywhere, you can go in and fit in.